What if I told you that this guy, Spot, is way older than you think, that he once teamed up with a major Marvel villain and even worked for Tony Stark? Today, in just a few minutes, you're going to get to know Spot, the villain from Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse. Welcome to Cine lovers! While we wait for the third Spider-Verse movie, which is taking an eternity to come out, let's take a moment to remember the villain from the second film. A villain called Spot, who many people thought was an original character made just for the animation. But nope! To start with, Spot, or rather, Dr. Jonathan Owen, made his epic debut in the spectacular Spider-Man number 97 back in 1984. The guy has an awesome teleportation ability and can open portals between dimensions. I'll explain more about that in a second. He was actually working with Kingpin. Dr. Jonathan Owen was hired to recreate the superpowers of a hero cloak. Yep, Spot, whose real name is Jonathan, was also a scientist, and he came pretty close to nailing what Kingpin wanted, managing to create an insane portal. But things went south, and he ended up draining a huge amount of energy from the city, sending him into a full-on breakdown, kind of like what happens in Into the Spider-Verse. Desperate not to lose the biggest opportunity of his life, Jonathan stepped into one of his portals and found himself in a totally different dimension. He thought it was the same one Cloak used, but in reality, it was a completely wild place filled with trippy portals. When he finally made it back to his lab, he realized his body had undergone a massive transformation. The interdimensional portals had fused with his skin, covering him in black spots from head to toe. That's when Jonathan realized he could use this to his advantage, and that's how he gave himself the name Spot. Had you ever heard of Spot before this animation? Drop a comment below. This villain's powers and abilities are all about his portals. It's basically space warping. He can move instantly, either his whole body or just specific parts. Spot is a master at controlling, shrinking, and manipulating these portals in insane ways. And here's a fun fact. Cloak was also a master of teleportation and portal creation. So, in a way, the experiment both failed and succeeded at the same time. Spot is one of the most powerful villains in Marvel, even though he doesn't appear that often in the comics. At first, he seemed like just a goofy villain, clumsy, not really a serious threat, but as the story progressed, he became more and more terrifying. His transformation in Across the Spider-Verse was absolutely insane. He started off as an enemy who felt almost harmless, almost like comic relief, but by the end, he had turned into a massive threat, capable of crossing dimensions and causing large-scale destruction. It would be amazing if he made it into live action as well, especially with this new dark and dangerous version. His ability to create portals to other realities opens up some incredible possibilities for the future of the Spider-Verse and even the MCU, which is deep into its multiverse phase. I honestly loved his role in the animation and can't wait to see where they take this character next. If you've seen the movie, drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Spot has a huge advantage over Spider-Man, something other villains can only dream of. The thing is, Spot can attack Spider-Man without triggering his spidey sense. Everything that comes out of his portals doesn't just travel directly from one point to another. It first passes through the spotted dimension. Spider sense only works within a single dimension, so if Spot throws a punch from a portal in the spotted dimension, Spider-Man doesn't even see it coming, and he gets wrecked. Now check this out. Besides Spot being able to travel across dimensions, there are actually other Spots scattered throughout the multiverse. And not every Spot is a villain. Did you know that? Before I tell you more, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Here, you'll learn tons of cool facts about the animations and movies you love the most. Like I said, not every version of Spot is a villain. During the epic Secret Wars saga in 2015, we were introduced to an alternate Jonathan Owen who never became Spot. Instead, he continued his life as a scientist and even worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., using his genius for good. And get this, besides being an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., this version of Jonathan Owen had massive respect for both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. The guy was such a huge fan of Spider-Man that he actually sacrificed himself to save the Parker family. He had nothing to do with the original Spot. Spot has also appeared in older Spider-Man cartoons. In one of the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s, Jonathan actually worked as a scientist at Stark Enterprises for Tony Stark. But, of course, things didn't go so smoothly. There was some serious drama, and even Kingpin got involved again. Spot will almost certainly return for the next Spider-Verse movie, whenever that finally comes out. The sequel to Across the Spider-Verse has been facing several production issues, including script rewrites and animation delays. On top of that, one of the voice actors recently revealed that they haven't even started recording their lines yet, which means the project is still far from being finished. The studio seems to be struggling to get everything in order, especially after internal changes at Sony and the huge pressure to deliver an epic finale. Beyond the Spider-Verse was originally set for 2024, but now no one really knows when it's coming out. Fans are hyped, but it looks like the wait is going to be long. And hopefully, the story will dive even deeper into Spot's character. If you love Sony movies as much as I do, check out these videos I made about some of Sony Animation's most incredible films. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video here on Cine Lovers.